All right, so I see there's a lot of talk online about this Tony Ferguson versus Paddy Pimblett fight, and I wanted to chime in and give my thoughts on it. Basically, um, how I see this one going. Um, I think the decision goes to Paddy. I feel like it will go to a decision, or Paddy catches Tony off guard. He catches him with a KO or something. I mean, he doesn't even need to catch him off guard these days. I mean, we can see what Tony is doing. We can see that Tony's not healthy. His mental health, he has brain damage. He has CTE, as displayed by his speech, his actions as of late. He needs help. He needs help, and he's not getting it. He's not getting it. He's going down a very, very, very dark path. Very dark path. So yeah, I feel like Pimlet, he will submit him, or hit him with a KO. A lot of people will say, "What are you talking about, submit?" But I feel like Tony, like I said, anything is possible in this fight, and we know the UFC is full of surprises. So yeah, anything is possible. So don't be surprised if Tony gets submitted in this fight, um, because I feel like no one is expecting that, and I feel like it's an unexpected move that Paddy could be preparing to pull off. Another thing we've got to look at here is who's going to be the freshest, who's going to be well rested, okay, who's going to be recovered. The smart money, I feel, is on Pimlet, right? Smart money would say who's going for longevity here. When we look at interviews, Tony versus Paddy, we can see that Tony is brain damaged. He's off his rocker. He's mentally challenged. Versus Paddy, he seems very calm. He seems very with it. He seems very fresh. Like I say, he's going to be well rested. He's going to be well recovered. Whereas Tony, he's been hanging out with Goggins, possibly causing him greater stress than he already has. And we know stress kills brain cells. We know when brain cells are being killed, we know that it causes brain damage, and the only way to recover that is to rest, is to recover. And if he's not doing that, then God help him. So, yeah, and we also have to look at the training differences here. Over the years, we've seen Tony with his, stupid training programs over the years. Khabib even alluded to him being a stupid guy because of the stupidity that he's doing. Paddy, on the other hand, he's a professional. He has great coaches. He has great training. He's well fed also. It's another thing. People say, oh, he's gaining all this weight. That's his natural weight. His natural weight is the weight he walks around at. That's his natural weight. Okay? We're not supposed to be anorexic year round. Okay, if you are training at the level that these men are training at, it's it's in your best interests to eat food. Now, some will eat more than others, and it depends on how hard you're training. But yeah, you've got all these UFC fanboys talking about, oh, Paddy gains a lot of weight. That's his natural size. Right? He naturally holds more water, okay? And obviously he's consuming sodium, salt, right? Retains, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You've seen the amount these you've seen them out, they sweat. You know, if you've ever trained hard, you know that you're going to sweat a lot, okay? On the other hand, we've got Tony, who's, like I said, stupid training for 5 hours, no water breaks. Joe Rogan talked about that. You can all look this up, and this is the type of stuff that does cause brain damage, and it wouldn't surprise me if Tony is doing more than has been talked about. It wouldn't surprise me if the guy is fasting for 7 days, dry fasting, and, you know, doing all of those. I mean, yeah, sure, it helps with the weight cut and everything, but do you really want to be doing that regularly? I don't think so. It's a very dangerous lifestyle. It's very dangerous. You know, I know he thinks he's unstoppable, but we saw, you know, I was a you know, big believer in Tony, but he got wrecked against Justin Gaethje. He got wrecked against him, and ever since then he hasn't been the same since. He took too many shots, you know, and he's, you know, he's probably going back and he's probably headbutting walls, and it wouldn't surprise me if he's going back and he's, you know, headbutting walls and kicking trees and, you know, punching walls and elbowing walls and kneeing walls, and he thinks he's, you know, he thinks he's above the Matrix. You know, he thinks he's out of the Matrix, and he's had rude awakenings, and he's about to have another one. So yeah, the smart money is on Paddy. So that's my thoughts. Thanks for listening, and I will talk to you in the next one.